where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests.
A commercial for Apple computers, based on George Orwell's frightening view of the future, 1984. While Apple has been spending big money to maintain its estimated 23% share of the personal computer market, $400,000 just to produce this commercial, it has been fighting a sometimes losing battle against counterfeiters who have been pirating copyrighted Apple computer products.
We shall prevail.
So why is this man, Apple corporate attorney Jeff Blatt, smiling? He's about to collect on an out-of-court settlement against the Extra Computer Company, which allegedly infringed on Apple's copyrights. As part of the settlement, Extra handed over the computer circuit boards and chips which stored copies of Apple's programs. The man waiting at Extra was not happy with CNN's presence.
Are they with the press?
They're with the press.
I'm going to call the police right now.
Okay, well, they're not coming in.
They're not even going to film me.
No,
I have nothing to do with this company or anything else about it. Tell them to get the hell away from me. You're late now.
They're not.
Get away. I will call the police.
Let's just...
You're dealing with a man with a heart condition here. I've had 4 heart attacks and I don't need it and I don't work for any of these people, so you get away.
Shortly afterward, an Apple truck arrived to cart away 13 boxes containing computer main circuitry panels called motherboards, along with hundreds of memory chips called EPROMs.
As a result of the civil settlement, Extras turned over to Apple approximately 645 motherboards. The motherboard is the main printed circuit board for a computer, and it includes various circuitry which makes the computer operate. In addition to the motherboard, the defendants, as part of the settlement, have turned over the read-only memory devices, which Apple has alleged contain the copyrighted computer programs of Apple.
Later, Apple's technology expert, Bob Martin, analyzed all the parts that Extra had turned over. He found that Extra's EPROMs, erasable programmable read-only memory chips, contained copyrighted AppleSoft and AutoStart programs. He explained the differences between the genuine computer and the counterfeit.
Those are the read-only memory chips. You notice we have a copyright notice on each one. Because of changes in the technology over the last few years, each one of these parts holds twice as much information as one of these. So these counterfeit computers that we're seeing, rather than having 6 chips in here like this, they use 3 of these. And these things sell in small quantities for around $3.50 or $4 each. Verifying them with the machine takes a couple of seconds. Programming them on a computer, the act of copying our information, takes about 45 seconds to program one ROM. That's basically it. Somebody else has taken many man-hours of our engineers' work and basically ripped it off. No real difference. It's not software piracy, it's just out-and-out theft.
Theft of technology is not uncommon in the boomtown atmosphere of California's Silicon Valley. Nicknamed after the silicon semiconductor, which is the basic building block of computer chips, the valley is located about 50 miles south of San Francisco, in and around communities like San Jose, Cupertino, and Sunnyvale. CNN began an undercover investigation of computer counterfeiters who operate in the Silicon Valley in July of 1983. On the 5th of August, this reporter and an investigative team posing as personal computer wholesalers entered this company, Electrade, in San Jose, California. Electrade is not authorized or licensed by Apple to build or sell its computers or use its copyrighted software. Yet Perry Chen of Electrade said he was willing to sell us large numbers of 100% Apple-compatible computers, computers which use Apple's copyrighted operating programs. We asked if Electrade could sell us 80 to 100 computers a month. They replied they could, beginning in a few weeks. We then purchased one of Electrade's unlabeled computers as a sample for $350. This is the computer we purchased. It was found to contain a copy of Apple's software in its memory chips, as well as being very similar in appearance and design. Electrade told us that the computers were imported in pieces from Taiwan. According to Apple, if that is true, Electrade's computers containing Apple's copyrighted software should have been seized by U.S. Customs for possible violations of import statutes. 6 months later, we returned to Electrade and made another undercover purchase. CNN Special Assignment staff member John Bodner purchased an interface card for $45, a device which in this case electronically mates a disk drive to the computer. After buying the interface card, we took it to Apple's Technical Support Center in Cupertino, California, to have it analyzed.
Let's look at it in comparison to one of our cards. This one is one that Apple manufactures. This is the one you gave me, and the design looks like it's a copy of our design as well. The component placement is the same. The different components themselves, the part numbers are the same. Here we're using a different transistor. Looking at the back of the boards, a few minor differences, but it's the same design.
Martin then plugged both interface cards into his computer to compare the programming contained in each one. He instructed the computer to show any differences.
There aren't any. It's 100% copy. So the program is 100% copy, as well as the design being extremely similar to the Apple card.
Martin gave us this letter, certifying that he had found the Electrade interface board contained a duplicate of Apple's copyrighted program. We then decided to confront Electrade sales manager Perry K. Chen.
Caro from CNN, and we wanted to, Caro and I would like to talk to you about this device that we bought here the other day. We went over to Apple Computer, and Apple says it's an infringement of the copyright. And we want to know if you could tell us a little bit about that.
You mean this is copyright there?
Yeah, that's copyright.
This seems hardware.
Well, we bought it right here, Mr. Chen.
Who give you that?
Well, we had one of our associate producers come in and buy it, and he gave us this receipt for it.
Who give you receipt?
It is right there. With your name on it, it gave us a receipt for $45, which we had bought here the other day. And we see that this thing's in violation of Apple's copyright on their software. How do you explain that?
Oh, I don't know that. I think this is just hardware.
It just compared those, and there are no differences. It's a 100% copy.
So you're satisfied that this thing is a knockoff of an Apple product, in this case the interface card?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The code is 100% copy.
Did you ever sell Apple computers at all, or Apple-type computers with their programs on?
No program. We just say most time we sell the accessory.
Okay, but you had never at anywhere along the line never ever sold an Apple compatible computer?
In swap shop, probably we sell a couple.
Okay.
That's all. But that long time ago.
How long ago?
Probably in July in swap shop.
Wait, you never sold any out of this office?
No.
Okay. You're absolutely positive of that?
Yeah.
But Perry Chen of Electrade had sold us this computer, which Apple said was a counterfeit, not in July, but in August, and from Electrade's San Jose office. And at the time, Chen himself had openly talked about selling more computers to us, perhaps as many as 100 a month. Despite what may be violations of both copyright and customs laws, prosecution of such offenses involving counterfeit computers is difficult and complex. U.S. Attorney for Northern California, Joseph Rusinello.
After all, a lot of people who are in the business of copying are getting good legal advice from their legal counsel about the ways to take advantage of the loopholes in the existing law, so that at the most what they would suffer is a misdemeanor prosecution or conviction rather than felony smuggling.
These are computers which have been seized by U.S. Customs as alleged counterfeits. Consumers who buy such counterfeits to save money often find that they're not dependable, will not be serviced by reputable stores, and have no warranties. Result, a loss to the individual consumer of many hundreds of dollars. While a crackdown on Apple computer counterfeiters is having some effect, informed sources say that the counterfeiters are merely lying low until the heat is off. Meantime, Customs and other investigators say that some of those counterfeiters are using the time to perfect the knockoff of another popular personal computer, this time of IBM. From the Silicon Valley, this is Chuck Caro, CNN Special Assignments.